Hey, we're the Sheychelles Node. I'm Yolandi from South Africa.
I'm Gabby from the UK.
And I'm Vito from Italy.
And together we were brought to the Seychelles to deliver the crystals. And this is our story. We're going to tell it in like just a conversation. We all arrived and we individually went down to the water to introduce ourselves to the land, ask permission to work with the land. And that was the first evening. And then on the second, well, what we call day one, we set out on our adventures. Yeah, so we were heading to, Matias advised us to go to a place called Captournay. We also realized that there's a big waterfall there because everybody we spoke to said the waters around Seychelles is really shallow. So we were trying to find places where we can find deep waters. So we started looking at possibilities of waterfalls.
The waterfall that we were suggested was Port Claude, which is in the highest point of the Seychelles Mountains.
So the nature reserve.
Yeah. So the locals were very kind to us when we were asking those questions of where we could if we needed to find deep water. So on the 18th we set out in the hopes that we're gonna find a deep water waterfall.
Yeah, so we got in the car and we took the wrong road and we were led to the cemetery that was covered in flowers. It was called Mount Floral in Creole. And we drove past it and we tried to go up the mountain and the road became impossible. We had to turn around and we came back past the cemetery and then we realized we're supposed to stop and ask permission from the ancestors, which we did.
Yes, and so Yolandi kindly found words to say what we needed to say and to get the recognition from those that came before us to just allow us that possibility to complete the task.
And when we get the goosebumps, we know.
Oh yeah, goosebumps.
Yeah, we all knew, hey? You
Yeah.
also.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah. As the male representative, balancing the two of us out. Thank you. So yeah, after we asked for permission from the ancestors, we continued on our way to the waterfall.
And we were going up this windy road and we saw a sign that says Coco de Mer Male Tree. And the message was clear, we had to stop there. There was a restaurant and a shop and we stopped there and we got out and we ended up meeting the owners. The woman was from South Africa like me and the man was from Germany. And he was a sailor who knew all the waters around Seychelles. And he was explaining to us that we were actually on a plateau and it's not going to be possible to drop the crystals in any kind of deep water where divers and
Tourists
and snorkeling isn't going to happen. So he was like saying, okay, so we need to organize you a boat. So it's like 50 miles you have to go out into the ocean to find any kind of deeper waters.
Yeah, I mean at one point he was suggesting 60 miles out.
Yeah, and we were like, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. Anyway, so then the woman says, okay, well, let's do pendulums. Let's ask. So we sat down with her. She's a healer and she has beautiful healing room. And she sat down and we started narrowing it down. We were like, do we need to go out 50 to 60 kilometers? No. 40 to 50. It ended up being within meters from where we were. And we were led to the Russian Dam.
Because we also wondered whether we needed to actually go out into the sea or can it be on land. And actually all the clues that we were given said that actually land was also a possibility.
That we didn't need to
charter a boat or find other resources, because of course it would have meant that we needed to go out 60 miles, which was a couple of hours, check it out, come back
into the wild sea.
So
we would have done it if we were supposed to do it, but when she started narrowing it down and asking, is it a waterfall, is it a lake, is it a dam, when she said the name Russian Dam, the goosebumps were like all over. It was just running up and down and it was like, okay, we came all the way to the Seychelles to find a man-made dam to drop the crystals.
And I guess the second clue for me was, when we were saying our goodbyes and we were at the reception area, it had the yellow spiral.
That painting you made for me had the yellow spiral in it.
Yes, and then there were some other things which were like it was like a sun, but they were all not in your face kind of clues, they were just kind of hidden. So we knew that what we were suggested could potentially be where we needed to go.
Yeah, so we set off, we walked there, we went to the dam, we went out onto the wall, we sat and we connected with the area. We called in the elements, we asked permission to enter the land. All these white birds with long tails arrived and they started swirling around us and swooping around the area. Then the wind came up.
Yeah, and Vito, you noticed the boxes, you know, on the side.
Yes.
And then you said that reminded you of something else that you saw in one of the paintings, and you reminded how this could be actually a clue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so we sat there for half an hour connecting,
more than that.
meditating. There were rainbows in the water. As the dam led down, it was a waterfall, so it was like a man-made waterfall, but it was the most exquisitely peaceful, beautiful place.
We got sprayed by the water.
Yeah, they were like water drops. It was
Yeah.
like all the elements were coming into grace us. So the air was like with the white birds, and then this
Yeah.
sort of rising in wind came up and swirled around us and then quietened down again. And the water sprayed us.
You saw quite a few rainbows in the droplets of the water as the water was falling down.
Yeah. And then as we left the dam, we found the shell.
With clear water in it.
Yeah, it was lying upside down with water, clear water floating in it. As if to say, this is the shell of abundance. This is like where we want to receive you.
Of course. And where this dam actually is, it's at the bottom of the two mountains, the highest peak, and then the second peak. It's at the convergence of two rivers, and it's also going out towards the ocean. And actually, as we were going back to the male tree, the sign said this is the heart of the Seychelles. And the lady there, before we even set off to the dam, told us how this was the first radio station on Seychelles broadcasting the information for the locals.
But I think it was like a spirit, like a spiritual radio station, like good,
Yeah.
good energy.
Yeah, they were very particular about what else was going to be built on that site.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And
so
then
many clues.
Also, it's the highest mountain, so it's actually called Mount Seychelles. So it's like the highest mountain on the island. So we had the mountain energy, we had the water spring energy, the rivers coming out of the mountain, feeding into the dam, then feeding the second dam on the island, which then leads into all the homes in the entire island.
Yep.
So this being the heart of the island, now I get goosebumps again talking about it. This being the heart of the island was just like, it was like the heart center point.
And
Yeah.
Matias was saying how the island is meant to be the eye of the storm in a way, wasn't it? Where that is calm. And when we were reflecting, just as we were walking away from the dam, we were like, oh my god, this is such a serene
It
place.
was the most peaceful place. Like
Yeah.
the reflection, it was like flat. Like
Yeah. So we were kind of wondering, surely it can't be this easy, you know, finding the spot. So, which led to some escapades for day one. So, give us a
and then
chance.
remember then, while we were sitting there meditating, I saw this white inverted pyramid floating over the dam, over the lake area of the dam. And I found that interesting because it was only the inverted white pyramid.
Yeah.
And we'll explain later what happened with that.
My inner vision was that there was some form of Merkaba floating, but again, I wasn't really trusting my intuition.
Yeah, we even looked at the numerology. Everything was working out to threes or ones. So it was like the three crystals having to be together and then becoming one. And it was just the numerology was the entire time. It was just that the whole
Yeah.
time.
And actually, the dam is 21 meters deep if we convert the feet into meters, which again reduces to a 3.
Yeah. So basically that's the end of our adventures on day one. We realized that this is a very viable possibility. We were open to try the second time to go to Cap Tournai on day 2 and the waterfall to investigate whether those were options. So day 2, we set off to Cap Tournai and the waterfall. We get there, we park the car and we start walking through this beautiful jungle.
Yep.
And it was like flowers, bees,
Spiders. Ooh, they're most epic spiders.
yeah, like
If
with
you're-
webs.
Yeah, I was thinking, please don't make me stay here long.
Wild.
Yeah.
But as we walk closer and closer to the actual bay, so it makes this like inlet, like
Yeah.
a U-shaped bay.
Yes.
But it's
very
like it's
protected.
very shallow. It's like less than a meter deep
Yeah.
for probably 200 meters.
Oh yeah,
out. We
definitely.
could see where the dark waters were, so we thought, okay, we definitely can't drop the crystals here. So why don't we take the crystals out into the water, to, as far as we can go, to kind of meet the deeper waters and at least introduce them to the water. The energy was really off in this place.
Yeah, as
And
we
then-
were getting closer to the seashore,
Where people were snorkeling and diving and
Yeah.
tanning and whatever.
there were a lot of ruins which we couldn't figure out what it was. There were ruins with graffiti that kind of had some storyline to it. But clearly, it was abandoned because it was, overtaken by the jungle. So, in a way,
And also like there was like a church, like a cross.
a ruined church.
Yeah, it was like a ruined church. It was kind of like maybe this is what used to work, but it's no longer being honored.
Yeah, and I found a shell.
Yeah, then we found the second shell, so we thought maybe that's a sign. But the second shell,
Yeah, I
It's
kept
not
saying,
like-
oh yeah, that somebody has terminated that.
it looks exactly like the first one.
Yep. But whilst the first shell was full of clear water, the second one actually
It was upside down. And
upside down, and obviously whoever was living there was no more.
So in the beginning we thought it was a good sign.
Yeah.
Then now we're in the water, and we're trying to coax everyone into the water. The next minute, can I tell it, or do you want to tell it? You tell.
So as I'm following Yolanda into the water, I felt that something bit me. And I just went into like, oh my god, something bit me. We need to get out of the water. And yeah, that
This is after Vito saw something in the water.
yeah.
I thought he was joking because he's like, be careful. And I'm like, it's a fish. It's fine, it's just a fish.
Yeah, what actually turned out to be, it was a stingray or a shark, but it's most likely that it was a
wasn't like,
stingray.
the word wasn't bites.
No, it was a clear cut. So
There's a massive gash across her left leg.
yeah, so
Foot.
yeah, so where the shin is, and the locals after that told us that actually it's a favorite spot for the stingrays because they can find their food on the bottom of the seabed, of the ocean bed. So clearly we disturbed something, but it was also the sign that that was not where we needed to be. It was cut in the most epic way, and it also allowed us to go and say some thanks to some of the people that have helped us.
Yeah, because there was a lot of blood, so we were worried that Gabby was gonna bleed out.
Well, that was Yolanda's vision. I knew I was okay. There was no fear about the actual accident and incident. Vito was our trusted driver, went and got the car. Both of them were really, really supportive. And actually, we went to the local place where they could help me out, and everybody was in the most amazing way helpful, which in a way showed us how loving and caring the Seychelles people were.
Yeah, that was a good sign, but it also made us realize that
Captain A was not.
it wasn't the right place. And then
No.
also the second shell got left behind with
Yeah.
all the chaos.
Yeah.
We were very careful about making sure we had all the crystals, but we forgot the shell, so
Yeah.
that was another sign. And then also we thought maybe there was a church that we passed on the way in, and we
Yes.
felt that we should go into the church, so we ignored the first church, and then we saw the second church reminder, which we ignored again.
So
And then it
nature,
was like
nature cut the legs. And I know we can smile about it now. In the moment, I needed to be taken care of, obviously. But definitely, there was a very, very strong sign from the universe that it was not the way to go. So that was day two.
End of second day. Our second attempt at Captain Iron Waterfall didn't work. Day 3, we decided to go out and connect the crystals with the Mineral Kingdom. So we went to a beautiful beach where the granitic rocks, like these rock formations were, and we were just having a bit of fun and connecting with the land. And then we wanted to go to the botanical gardens because we wanted to connect with the plant kingdom. We felt a very strong calling. There's something to do with trees, so we felt we needed to, because we had the male coca de mer tree the first day, which was the main clue to get us to the dam.
Of course, yes.
And
Sure.
then it was the botanical gardens.
Yeah.
But then the rain started and it was pouring
Because
for hours.
Yeah, but the other thing that we had as a clue at some point, and it was that we needed to find a blue flower. So we kept trying
A
to find
flower,
blue,
yeah.
a flower. But you said that sometimes things that happen in the astral may come across as blue. So, which was really interesting because I've never known about that. So, all we knew is that it is the shape of a flower. So when we were even on the, connecting with the mineral kingdom, we saw a face of an eel maybe in the rocks.
Oh, there were many beings with us.
Yeah, we saw pyramids, we saw a lot of things. So we spent quite some time there, and then rain made us.
So then we were sitting in a coffee shop, just kind of waiting for the rain to stop, and then the woman told us we had to go visit the turtles.
Yeah, in the botanical gardens in the cafe. Yeah.
So off we went to the turtles, and they were so magical. That was like a heart-opening experience. I think we had some deep connection.
We had the possibility to get up close and personal with them. We had
We
little
could
branches.
look into their eyes, and we told them about the mission, and we asked for their blessings.
Yeah, and we did take the crystals out to introduce the crystals in a way.
And they would put their noses right up to the crystals.
And they were so friendly. I mean, you tried to be very friendly with them as well, and they didn't say no. Yeah.
Then we were led to the oldest, biggest tree, which to us felt like a mother tree, because when we saw her, she had this round trunk, and the vision was clear. We had to stand as the Trinity inside the trunk and hold hands, which we did. We put the crystals in between the connections, and we started humming, making sound. No, we made the sound afterwards.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was the most heart-opening experience. It was.
Yeah. Because you asked to go back and do it again, didn't you?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. Did you see that? I'm still singing.
We can do again.
You want to do it again?
And
And we were like, we had tears.
yeah.
We felt so connected, and then so what we did is we asked the trees, the mother tree, if it was, I don't know, but it felt like it,
Yeah.
to connect the mycelial network throughout the entire island. And now I'm getting goosebumps again talking about it.
Because we didn't know what we were doing whilst we obviously hold hands. My request and intention was to connect the natural world, the nature, all the flowers, all the trees, all the flora, fauna, animal kingdom, seen and unseen, multi-dimensional beings, whoever needed to come in to support us in this task. And actually, we all kind of felt that the time was correct, that we are now ready to do what we needed to do.
Yeah.
This task.
And as we drove out, we saw the female cocoa de mer tree.
Yes.
So that was like the beautiful union of the masculine and feminine cocoa trees, which are the symbols of Seychelles.
Yeah.
And then we went home, got ready, and headed out to the dam. We found the forest spot where we were activating the crystals, and we looked down and we saw all the roots of the trees, and we knew that was the right place.
Again, we connected, we invited all the elements to come and be with us. We again asked permission to actually do the task. We invited ourselves to also be ready to do what we needed to do. As in unity,
And we
kind
called
of.
in the network,
Yeah.
and everyone was with us.
Yes, definitely. We could feel that heat behind us, that support and connection.
It's such a moving feeling. It's this feeling of like unconditional love, like having this beautiful supporting energy that just flowing through, and then the sacred geometry starts in the circle, and then it becomes a spinning Merkaba, and then there's like a point when you just know, okay, it's time.
working through us. Love and mastery. Thousands of planets behind us.
For me, the experiences, I saw 2 successive Merkabahs, so one showed up, and then the second showed up, and I knew that then that was done.
And then we walked to the water. Oh, then we were looking for the right place at the dam
See
because
the-
now we're not sure where's the dam deep enough. So we're like looking at a place, and the next minute I look down and there's this concrete arrow pointing at exactly the place, which we were like, this is where we have to go.
Yeah, like a cosmic joke saying,
was-
"Oh, come on, humans, are you not getting it
Cosmic
yet? Come on,
joke. It was like,
come on."
okay, how clear do you want us to be?
It was epic, and we. Yeah,
As we threw the crystals in, they landed in a triangle.
yeah.
And then the DNA one that Vito threw in went right to the center of the lake.
And just before we were ready to see the crystals, we've noticed how, as you look through the DNA crystal from the top, you could see how the DNA was opening up in spirals. And again, that was just so amazing because we didn't look at that prism from that perspective before.
Yeah.
So
It literally looked like a flower that had opened up.
yeah,
And then I forgot to say, when we were at the mother tree, the vision that kicked in there was underneath the white pyramid, inverted pyramid above the dam, another brown pyramid came, and it was like superimposed over each other, and it anchored the white pyramid through the water into the earth. So it was like the bridge between heaven and earth.
yeah,
I don't know what it was, because when I was in the plane on the way here, I was shown a shaft. It had to be a deep connection into the earth, and I was like, where are we going to find that?
yeah,
And then when I saw the brown pyramid, it was like,
yeah.
it was the trees who did that.
Of course. And before that, before our trip, I had a dream where I was picking out things from, again, a shaft-like type structure. And yeah, there was some pebbles, and actually at the bottom of the dam, where the pebbles, because it was like a concrete thing but with pebbles in there. So technically, we got a lot of clues just before we were due to arrive.
Yeah.
And Vito certainly pointed out a lot of clues along the way. So yeah, we kind of just went, oh wow, okay, cool.
Because we never knew which place it was going to be.
No.
And then like the night before, Vito said to me,
What?
this is the place, the dam.
You found the place.
But you said you think the dam is the right place.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Because you felt the energy of it. You can feel whether things are open or closed.
Yes.
So from your perspective, you were able to tell us if something was open, whether it felt right or it didn't feel okay. So you are our beacon, our energetic beacon. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you
all.
to the network. Thank you for the
Yeah.
opportunity for us to be the walkers
Yeah.
and to have been able to channel all of the support. It's been a stressful, tiring, and exciting and beautiful adventure.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for all of you.
Thank you very much.